have anything of substance, just deflect everything that's that's said about the game. They tried to justify 30 FPS, they tried to justify letterboxing, never admitted it was a problem. It was
Yeah,
messy.
and that's where I have an issue with it, but I didn't necessarily mind it in game, but I think the best reviews of this game are people saying that it's a rental, because I think it's 100% a rental game. It's the definition of a rental game. But I enjoyed my time with it. They're obviously going to do a second one. I kind of likened it to the first Assassin's Creed, where the game was like the most mediocre game you could have, and then the second one came out and was really good, and I hope that's what happens with this one. But we'll see. Who actually knows? I hope they don't start making them every other year. So we'll see.
I will say at the end of it, I did want more. Like, there's no question.
Yeah.
Like, so that's a good sign.
And I really enjoyed I hate QuickTime events, but the QuickTime events that were in this game, I actually enjoyed them.
Oh wow,
they were. Yeah,
that's a bold statement, I know, but and it's because it looks so good. If it looked terrible, I wouldn't have enjoyed it at all. But I really liked how good it looked.
It didn't only look good, but it was just a fraction more complex enough to be a bit more engaging. Like, I really liked, without spoiling it, there's like a dodge mechanic in line with other stuff you're doing. It almost feels like a fighter kind of. It's no question a QuickTime event, but at least it's a little bit easier to get through, I will say. When I first heard about the order, I was told there were 2 QuickTime events that were identical. And I thought it was going to be like the same buttons in the same sequence. And I was like, oh, that's horrible. Like, that sounds horrible. But when you play it, they're the same system. But there's no question that it's going to be different how you do it. Like, it's definitely a different fight. He moves different. Like, things are, so.
And that came from
was
Jesse's
surprising.
tweet last week, I think, on Drop Frames. We were talking about that, where it did have the 2 fights are very similar, but like you said, they are different in how it actually goes down. So.
But I will say that still, there's no question I would have preferred real fighting. Like, it doesn't justify the QuickTime events. It's just better.
Yeah,
I haven't enjoyed QuickTime events since God of War, and that kind of like introduced me to that whole mechanic at all.
Maybe enjoyed. Maybe I can retract that and say I didn't mind. Is a better way of saying that.
That's the boat I'm in.
Yeah, to say I enjoyed them would be probably not true, because let's face it, you're just spamming X and then you hit like Y and hold it down and you've seen it all before. But it's not like I was just like, oh god, here's another QuickTime event, etc., etc. So
it seems hard for me to make that like satisfying in a game like that, because in God of War you're doing these almost superhuman things where you're swinging
it's like epic
things around, and
right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's more epic, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, get him. And the way that the order seems kind of to progress, and the way it looks is, it's over the shoulder, and it's just like, how much can you do with that to make it, that kind I don't know.
Turn the page.
Curious.
Look, it's like if you miss it, get a paper cut. Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Quick, stop the bleeding. Get the gauze. Wrap it. XXXXXXXXX.
Oh, you wrapped the wrong arm. You weren't fast enough.
I was just going to say, like, I totally see what you're talking about, Cobalt, and I agree. I love one of the only God of Wars I played was on the PSP, and even that one felt really good. Like,
you need to play through the God of War series, man.
I've been told that more than a few
God
times.
of War 2 has one of the best, and it's even in HD. You can play the HD versions. God of War 2's final thing, it's like final level session fight, amazing. It's simply one of the most epic things I've ever played. It's fucking incredible. It's so cool.
I've definitely seen some videos of the higher end boss fights where you're like grappling around them.
Yeah, and then God of War 3 starts out, and it's like it starts where God of War 2 ended, pretty much identically, and it's just even crazier from there on. So definitely play it. It's a lot. They're a good series. Now
I gotta try.
I want to see the next God of War 2.
The cool thing about that, though, is everything's weighted. It feels like there's actual tactile, responses to the stuff you're doing, and that's actually one of the things I liked about the order. Like, the second you press that button, something really kind of locks into place quickly. You're fighting usually things a lot bigger than you, so it has a good weight to it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So go rent it. Don't spend $60. I'm sure it'll be on sale in a couple months.
Gamefly it.
I wonder if they'll put that out on a PS Plus thing. If they'll give it away on like PS Plus for free.
That would be cool.
I bet you'd get a lot of. That's a good way to like bait some PS Plus subscriptions if you gave away the order for free. But we'll see if they actually do. It's first party, so I don't see why they wouldn't.
Oh yeah. Colorable just reminded me of the touchpad integration. Oh my god.
They did that once. It was only in there once, right?
Dude, okay. Now, this is a small spoiler.
I'm putting the spoiler tag back up, sorry.
All right, so I'm guessing on the back of the order, there's a little icon that says, touchpad integration. Like one of those little signs that says, this game uses the touchpad. At one point in the game, this arbitrary Morse code thing appears on the screen, and you have to use the touchpad as a button to press and hold, press and hold,
Oh,
press
that's
and hold,
right. That's
press.
what it was.
Okay, that's the
So
only
innovative.
time.
It's the only time you ever use
You
it.
use the touchpad, and you don't even use it as a touchpad. You use it as a button. So the second that scene was done, I was just sitting there because it was like 3 or 4 hours in. You're not going to get something else like that for the rest of the game. Yeah. And I was just like, that was it. That was our touchpad integration.
And I like what it did in game. I didn't necessarily like the fact that I had to use the touchpad. It was kind of cool, but it felt like, guys, we really need to show off the touchpad. The gamers really got to see that we have a touchpad.
They got finished with the game. They're like, oh, that's right. They wanted the touchpad thing. What do we do? Throw it in right there. Go ahead. Yeah. All right, Jenkins, you got it? Okay, good. We're going to tack that on. We'll put it out. There we go. Now we can put that little thing on the back of the box.
Yeah, it was.
See, you just nailed that. I think that little thing is a small look at the much broader picture of the game, just like getting out objectives. Like, we need to look pretty. We need to make sure we have touchpad integration. Make sure you have guns. It's just like a checklist. And that was, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And that is so true. It's so stupid.
It's like almost false advertising, man. Almost like it's.
Well, when a game's 7 hours, I mean.
Well, it's like, imagine what they put on the back of the box for the Power Glove. It's like real integrated,
It wasn't even on the
turning. It'll do it, and put it on the back. Like they could do this. It's like, okay, no, well.
The other mechanic too, with the dildoing of the doors to unlock them, that was really odd too. That was just like such a annoying. That was one of the most annoying things in the game.
They could have made the touchpad the lock picking mechanic.
They could have, yeah.
I mean, you're like with your fingers, and you're like, I don't know.
Instead, man, they shoved a dildo into those locks. Then you rotated properly and got it all good.
Dildo is now a verb. You are dildoing the door.
Yeah. That when you play it, you're gonna be like, this is totally what this is.
Get your dildo keyring out. Which one is the right size for the door?
Exactly. Exactly.
Don't get that. That's a small key. That's a small key. Don't use that one. It's far too large.
It's stuck.
God. Coalition's just like, oh god.
I'm just seeing a giant keyring of dildos of various. It's like a giant,
Just hanging from your belt.
Yeah, Tesla invented that stuff, man. That's why.
Guy, the janitor at night pushing the trash can with a giant ring of dildos on his belt.
Got your pistol on one side and your dildo keychain on the other.
They need to make a game now where that's the character. That
like, getting a call. Oh wait, no, I flipped one on accident.
Exactly. Exactly. Co, did you play anything else on your channel?
Let's see.
Check out RimWorld on that patch. The new patch.
I haven't yet. I've been having a lot of fun with RimWorld. Been playing a lot of Hand of Fate, and I've been kind of trying to think of a time to fit, H1Z1 and Hand of Fate. I've been trying to find a time to fit in RimWorld, but just really haven't had the opportunity yet. But I've been talking to a lot of people. And it looks like that they've been actually releasing a lot of patches over the last month, and there's a bunch of these little tiny changes, but no real kind of, big patches yet. So I'm thinking about waiting on that, especially since just today the Homeworld Remastered Collection came out, and I'm actually going to probably take a look at that, maybe even tonight. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out in the next week or so.
Yeah.
And also with PAX around the corner, a lot of people tend to release like alphas and stuff right after PAX. So.
March is going to be busy.
We'll see.
There's a lot of stuff coming out in March for sure. Bloodborne probably number one.
Coming out. Is there anything that you're looking forward to, Cobalt?
Well, we've got the Isaac DLC, obviously, sometime hitting halfway through the year. Kingdom Hearts 3. I really want to jump on that Bloodborne when it comes out. I know that's probably all the one we're waiting for there. Besides that, I'm really excited to jump back into Hand of Fate. I was enjoying that thoroughly last night.
I got to check that out. That's that's probably the 30th person I've said that Hand of Fate is
Dude,
good.
if you like Darkest Dungeon, you will like Hands of Fate.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of RNG. It's fun. It's fun.
H1Z1 has this like drug-like effect when it gets into the top 10, where the stress is so high and the adrenaline level is such a rush that I will probably just keep playing that until that goes away.
You're hooked.
I'm literally hooked on that game. Like, the adrenaline is too high.
Adrenaline junkie off a video game, JP. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I've known that for a long time. I'm just publicly admitting it. So,
I feel the same way.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. But Cobalt, what is I've actually haven't done much research at all on the Isaac DLC. What's that adding?
Oh, they're going to be adding over 100 new items,
Wow.
more floors. They're going to be adding new bosses, an alternate game mode that you can play completely, which he has not really told us that much information about. He said he just thought up a whole new way that you could play the game and is going to put it in there. I don't know if it's going to be endless mode or what. What else? They're adding new challenges, of course, which will be more difficult. Maybe a new harder mode. I haven't really heard anything much about that. And also, hopefully, a way to basically maybe make a custom game where you can basically go in, uncheck items that you want to appear in the game, curses, different elements like that. So maybe you 100% the game, and it lets you now make a custom run so that we can go through and uncheck this item from appearing, or this item or this curse won't appear. And that way, that would open it up to where we could do custom racing and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool, yeah. So
yeah, the competitive scene. That's awesome.
Co and Zeke,
you're talking about Cobalt. When you say he's this, he's that. You're talking about.
Is that Edmund, the dev? Who's it of?
Edmund McMillan, yes.
Okay.
Edmund McMillan, Tyrone Rodriguez, the whole Nicholas team. They're all working on that together now.
Okay, cool.
Zeke and Co, you guys have all played Binding of Isaac, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm the only person on the cast that's never played it. I know what it is. I'm very familiar with it. I've just never played it.
It's got heavy Zelda, a dungeon, early Zelda.
How long does a normal run take for, like, if I've never played it before, how long would
it depends on how far you make it, my friend.
Yeah, really?
Back to the beginning. Trust me.
You're probably going to die a few times.
Okay.
I would love to watch, though. I love watching new people.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, to get through my first time, it probably, I would say, to get, because it extends itself. Like, well, I'm sorry. I don't know if the new game does, but I knew the original Binding of Isaac, you'd get to, like, the end, kill it, and that would be a win. You would have a win. But then you have to kill that same, go to get to the end a few times, and then it would extend. Like, the dungeon would extend to another boss, or another floor. And then another.
Going for a while.
And then another floor. And that kind of thing. But to get your first mom kill is what, I assume it's called. It took me, I would say, 2 days of play. So like 10, 12 hours to get first mom kill.
I guess when I say that, I've watched like Cobalt and Lethal that just like play and beat it in like an hour or something like that. Like, man, this game's really easy.
Another general run will take between 30 minutes to an hour. If you get all the way through with the fully unlocked content.
And the thing about when Cobalt and one of them are playing it, like there's hundreds and hundreds of items. And it's completely random which one you get. So when you're first starting out in the game, it can be really confusing. Because every time you get something, there's some great websites that you can just go to and see all the items and mouse over and see what they do.
Sure.
But when you're new, when you're getting all these items, every time you get an item, you kind of have to stop. Okay, what's this do? How do I use it? Is it going to kill me? It's like there's so many things that you kind of have to process. It definitely slows the whole process down. But once you've played it, like Zeke said, 12, 15 hours, you're getting close to killing mom. The whole process speeds up big time.
Gotcha.
And the items synergize too. So not only do you need to know what the item does specifically, but you kind of have to know how it's going to work with your other items as well, because it can either be very beneficial to you or it can just troll the hell out of you. So it's really the knowledge is definitely a huge part, because the descriptions in the game itself are very vague. But that's one of the things I've grown to love about it, is you kind of have to play by feel. Unless you're going to go digging through the code and do it that way, which everybody has their own way they like to play games. But
sure.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. As far as the vagueness of what the items do. Like when I started playing, I was kind of late to the game, but when I started playing Binding of Isaac, and you get something that sounds so cool. Like I don't know, like you get like the bundle of dynamite. Your first run, you're like, oh fuck, bundle of dynamite. This is amazing. And you're running around, and you're like, and it hurts you, and you're like, hey, wait a goddamn minute. This isn't near as good as I thought it was, but The funny thing is, like, you watch professional players play it, I guess is the best terminology I can use.
Sure.
They find a way to use that to their advantage for certain things, synergies and that kind of stuff. It's so involved, and it's down to like 0.0 somethings of percentage is better. It's like this will give you a 0.05% more damage boost. It'll take this off your speed, and they're like down to like the 100th of percents for certain like
min-maxing, man. Hell yeah.
So silly.
Awesome.
It gets really ridiculous.
It is. But it's so intriguing to watch really good people do this because you're just like, oh, so this and this. And like people in the chat are like, oh, yeah, it does it. You know, it's like, does this make my gun better? Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Maybe down the line when there's a dry spell one week, I'll check it out. I think I've played maybe like a total of 5 minutes of it. And it used to be where it would only run at like really low res, right? And the recent version has updated that. Am I making things up or is that true?
It runs more FPS, yes.
Okay.
Much more smooth. Like the old game looks like stickers to me now, I say, or magnets on a fridge kind of moving around. It's very stocky and kind of pasted on there. And the new one, I feel like it may be pixel art, which I love pixel art personally. I've got nothing against it, but it feels like it's alive. You know, it's got that like the animations, and it's just much more. The look of it's much more there for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe that's enough to get me to warrant a playthrough for it. We'll see.
So would you say it's a superior game to the old one? Like,
oh man.
Oh, is this a conflict of debate?
It is.
Within the scene? Oh.
You know, taking account like the time and the money that they put into each one.
So, I would say gameplay-wise, definitely spot on. Excellent game, lots of fun. That being said, it's without modding the game as it currently is, we can't competitively race it to a competitive level that I don't feel like is fair enough. It would be more heavily RNG based than skill based. So we're gonna have to mod it to kind of bring that back a little bit, take some items out, maybe a curse or alter something, just so that you can use more strategy and skill involved rather than, I'm stumbling upon this, I'm gonna win this race. The first one, there was fewer items, it was much more balanced. We could ban just a couple of items, and it was much more even. So with this one, for example, there's this item called the stopwatch, and if you pick it up, it basically makes every room you walk into, everything is super slowed down for the rest of the run. And items like that, it kind of dumbs the game down to me. It makes something that's challenging, like, trivial. So, just something like that. So balance-wise, it could use a little bit more balance. That's why I really want the next expansion to kind of implement that system where you can check mark things on and off. But It's still a great game. It's got the replay values there. I've already put over like 700 hours into it since November.
How much did you put into the original game?
3,500.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
They have the new room codes or like
the seeds.
Yeah, exactly. You can do the same thing. Like you'll have the same rooms, the same items, the same kind of stuff.
Screen cheating becomes an issue there, though.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering. Like I thought that would make it like they put that in there so that you could compete.
Unless it's a live competition, there wouldn't be a way to keep track of screen cheating and whatnot. It'd be like an honor system, and we've in past competitions we've actually had problems once or twice with cheaters we caught. So
you would rather have it be like it was before. Like if you were going to compete with someone, you'd rather have it random and banned items than have the same rooms.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So they kind of stepped on their own.
Seeded could work, but it would be. I don't know. We want to make it as fair as possible. Minimize the ability to cheat and just make it fun. We just want it to be fun, really fun to watch, fun to play. We want it to be fun for the racers. We don't want to make it too hard. Like it's just all about balance, and the game is just lacking a little bit of balance. And I know the game wasn't made to be this racing thing that we kind of built the first one up to be, like with competitions and whatnot. They are trying to cater to us a little bit, but we're gonna make it work either way. And the game is fully moddable, so really it's not that bad of it. Much of an issue, but there's already programmers out there working on modding the game, getting what we need out there. So it's awesome. If you haven't played it, check it out. You'll get, if it's your kind of game, you'll put hours and hours and hours into it. It's $15. Like I said, I got 700 hours into it.
So are you going to bring back Balls of Steel if you can?
We're aiming for April.
Awesome. That was honestly that was one of my favorite things to watch. If you guys haven't checked out Balls of Steels, I'm sure you guys have VODs somewhere, but the Balls of Steel tournaments and the boiler races and those kind of stuff, I used to watch those all the time, and I was a mediocre Isaac player at my fucking best. And let me tell you, some of those races are just butt clenchy, sweaty, like watching them, you're just like, good. Oh, yeah. You get to the very last thing and you die, and that's one of the best things to see, like a good match going back and forth. And someone gets way out ahead, and they just get killed, and because they're taking risks with their damage versus their health and that kind of stuff. And it's some of the funnest like competition stuff to watch on Twitch are those Balls of Steel boiler races, or I don't know if either one's I know Balls.
And that's why we want to keep the RNG in there too, because we don't
sure
like you can be behind, you hit that item, you're right back in it, and it's in a seeded race you couldn't do that. Sorry.
No. With 3,500 hours in the game, it blows my mind because I don't think I've ever played a game that much. Is that your favorite game, undeniably, of all time?
See, I get the question a lot on my channel. What's your favorite game, Cobalt? Is Isaac your favorite game?
I think we all do, yeah. But 3,500 hours, isn't it just a de facto yes?
I mean, honestly, I would play Hello Kitty if it's what brought more people to hang out on my channel. Like I love my community, and if that's what they want to watch, like I'm there for them. That's where my roots are. The way I go about answering the favorite game question.
Hold on. Now, if you wanted to do that, you could be playing LoL, CS:GO, and Warcraft. You've created a Binding of Isaac community. Between you and Richard Hammer, you guys carved out a section of Twitch that didn't even exist before to turn that into a multi-thousand per day viewership, which is more than some streamers see in their lifetime.
But the room was there. The market was there for it. And the League of Legends scene, the WoW scene, they're so saturated, and they've got pro players and established streamers already. Like, plus, I would kill myself if I had to play 12 hours of League a day. Like, are you kidding me? I mean,
I feel you.
I love League.
We all are in agreement there.
But I couldn't put that kind of commitment. Everybody's got their own, little niche.
Sure.
But so I appreciate that's a huge compliment. I appreciate it.
So it may not be like your favorite game, but you enjoy playing it. And
it's my favorite roguelike. That's how I go about answering the question. For me, I don't like to lock myself down to one thing. When I have favorites, it's in the different genres because there's so many types of amazing games out of there. My favorite MMO, World of Warcraft. My favorite RPG, Chrono Trigger. My favorite roguelike, Binding of Isaac. It goes on and on and on to different genres. I don't like to specifically zone in on one game. And honestly, I have more hours into World of Warcraft than anything. I have hundreds of days on that game.
Yeah, I guess I do too.
Really? You have more hours into World of Warcraft than you do Binding of Isaac?
I do. I have over a year gameplay time.
Actually, yeah. I guess because you said 3,500 hours. Yeah, I'm about 4,500 probably on all the characters in WoW.
The funny thing is, I haven't played WoW for years since Wrath of the Lich King was new, and you're probably right. I still probably have more hours in that game than any other game. It's hard.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm Zeke, and I had a WoW addiction.
Yeah. Do you still play Cobalt?
Secretly.
Okay. That's where it's once Secret's in a while.
At least to 7,200 people it is.
Yeah.
I've got a level 100 DK
to talk about.
Yeah.
The new Garrison is kind of like a Facebook game to me. So
really
I get on, I do my Facebook every day, a little. Yep, do my LFR every now and then. It's fun. It'd be more fun if I had an actual raid group and people to do it with. But then again, that's time, commitment, schedule.
And as a streamer, you can't. Yeah, that's my issue with it too.
I have to bring it onto my stream to get serious about it, and that's a huge commitment to your channel, and that's a whole different ball game right there. Yep. So just got to be careful.
I didn't know that you played that much. Interesting. I didn't even know Zeke played that much. That's interesting.
I used to be a guild leader, several guilds.
Everyone has their secrets, man.
Oh yeah, heroics, everything. I didn't do any PvP. All about the PvE. Yep. Very strict.
Yep.
Have your flasks, have your enchants, everything.
That was fun.
A year and a half. That's all I did was work, WoW, sleep, eat if I remembered to.
Mm-hmm. That's what conditioned me to be a streamer. Actually, was playing WoW for so long. You get on, it becomes almost like a job. You're doing your 300 wipes a night on whatever boss. You get accustomed to it.
I wonder if that's something to do. You played EverQuest, right? You didn't. That was your jam?
I did all of them.
Okay, you did.
Yeah, I literally kind of lost years of my life to these games. Like I tell people, I spent more time in Norath growing up than I did the real world.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding when I say that. I spent more waking hours in front of a computer playing EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, Anarchy Online, EverQuest 2, Shadowbane. I mean, that was it. The life was to sustain those.
We'll have to do an episode one day where we just talk about the MMO days and bring all of our favorites.
I got stories.
I think we all have stories for days. Yeah, I'm cutting the convo off right now because otherwise we'll be here for another hour talking.
Yeah,
about
true.
Cool. What have you guys been watching? Anything of note before we take a break? Any in particular streams? I was watching the Sour Kool-Aid show last night with the trash bag roleplay.
I was gonna say.
That was kind of ridiculous.
I missed that one.
Renee tweeted like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Something like that. And I clicked it and I was just like, "All right, I can watch this for like an hour."
Didn't Dan like shave part of his head or something? I
didn't see that.
Dan's gaming?
No, Dan Paul.
Dan.
Dan Paul. Oh
yes.
Lord.
He had.
He's got such beautiful hair though.
He was role playing like trash or something, and like. He had trash on him, and he had like a wig, and it was like a female trash, and he was talking about how he's gonna fuck the other trash to like.
Hold on, was he the stinky trash monster?
Maybe so, yeah.
Oh my God, that is. If he is a stinky trash monster, that's a throwback from back in the Projectile Comedy days when he was with us.
Oh.
I still do improv with those guys on Thursdays, but he was one of the founding members of Projectile Comedy here in Billings.
That might have been what that was.
We used to do sketches every week. Like we do one every week, like a 2-hour sketch comedy show that we wrote the previous week and perform it. And one of his characters was a stinky trash monster, and I told him that was the worst fucking character he ever came up with. Because he would come out of the closet, trash bag on.
That's what it was.
Things attached to it.
Yeah.
And he would come out like, I'm the stinky trash. And I was like, that is not funny. It is a bad idea. I don't know why you would ever do it. And it was horrible. So I got to check the VODs because if he brought back the stinky trash monster, I am going to tell him to stop it.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Oh my God. I'm sure it was. I'm sure everyone.
There was moments where I was laughing.
Anything to get Zeke this passionate about it has to be good.
Oh
like I'm now really looking forward to seeing this.
Zeke, I put it on stream for you. You could see it.
Speaking of the stinky, excuse me, that's not the stinky trash monster. But speaking of the Sour Kool-Aid show, if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm going to be on there tonight doing some role playing with those guys as
awesome.
the Rock Biters, the dwarven captain of the dwarves. So I think I'll be on there later tonight doing that.
Awesome stuff. What time is that going to be at?
I think they usually start at 7 Pacific.
Gotcha.
I think.
There you
pretty
go.
sure, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it's right around 7 Pacific.
Twitch.tv/Sour Kool-Aid show for that.
Yep.
Anything else you guys been watching?
Dude, I was watching Man vs. Game and his struggle to
oh my God.
To finish Wings of V.
I'm so glad that he's done with that game. You don't even.
Me too, man.
And not because I was tired of watching it. Not because I'm tired of watching it. It's because it was literally destroying it.
On a personal level.
Yeah.
Very personal level.